Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're well. So guys, I was under the weather, wasn't feeling well for the past few days. Not 100%, but I'm back with this Eddie's Diver's watch today. So this is the first Eddie's Dive on the channel. Haven't reviewed a watch from this brand so far. Now, you look at the watch, you can tell straight away this is another homage of the Rolex Submariner. I know the market is awash with these homages. I bought this watch about a month ago from AliExpress, paid 60 Australian dollars including taxes and delivery, which is close to about 40 US dollars if I'm not wrong. You can buy this watch today for about the same amount as well. So there's nothing original about the watch. No credit goes to Eddie's Dive for the design of this watch. I've been wearing this watch for about a week now, and I really wanted to test it out on my wrist before I review it on the channel. I just wanted to see how it fits on my average size wrist, how comfortable it is, how the movement behaves as well. And to be honest with you, this watch has really grown on me during this time. I'm really impressed with the level of build quality and the level of finishing on this watch. So guys, let's dig in. Let's take a look at this watch, and I'll wrap up the video. So I've already spoken about the price. Now, looking at the dimensions, we have a case size of 41 millimeters with a lug-to-lug distance of 48 millimeters and case thickness of 13 millimeters. Now, this is the quartz version of this watch. You can buy this watch with an automatic movement as well, with Seiko's NH35. They use the same case for both watches. They could have easily slimmed this down given the quartz movement in this watch, but as I said, they use the same case, and can't really blame them for doing this. I think this is one of their ways of keeping the cost as low as possible, and using the same case must allow them to do that, and to allow them to keep offering these watches at these affordable prices as well. The lug width is 20 millimeters, 316L stainless steel construction, so you get a stainless steel case, crown and bracelet with this watch, and the level of finishing for the price is really nice. It's really nicely finished. We get high polish finish along the sides, really fine brushing on the upper surfaces. And obviously, if you start looking at this watch with a magnifying glass, you'll definitely find some imperfections with this case. But again, we have to consider the price as well. Sometimes we become too critical with our assessment, but as that, we have to consider the price that we are paying for this watch as well before we harshly criticize this watch. But saying that, the level of finishing on this watch is definitely okay. I've got no complaints there. I decided to go for the green and black version of this watch. There are other colors available as well. Now, two things I've noticed with this watch in reality and compared to the photos. The green in reality is quite different to the green in the photos, and the other thing I noticed in the photos was the markers, the color of the markers on the bezel and on the dial was fairly white, but in reality it's a bit more creamish and off-white than proper white. So those are the two differences I've noticed when I compared this watch to the watch in the photos on AliExpress. Now, coming to this bezel, which I really like. I really like the quality of this bezel. It is really nicely fitted to this watch. You get ceramic bezel insert with markers all around, and the finishing on the markers is really nicely as well. You don't see any paint overflow, and you get a really nice purchase from this 120 click unidirectional bezel as well. So when you want to use this bezel, it just moves freely. It's easy to grip as well, and it does align really nicely at 12 o'clock as well. And there's no back play on this one at all. I've overkilled it, but let me go back again. So I'll show you, and there you go. No back play at all, absolutely nothing. So really solid. The quality of the bezel is really nice. I've seen worse on more expensive watches. Let me clean those fingerprints off. As I said, I've seen worse on more expensive watches. So from the quality point of view, this bezel is really nicely fitted to this watch, and you get a lot of purchase from this bezel as well. So you get matte black dial with Minitrack printed on the outer ring, applied markers all around, Eddie's Dive logo and Eddie's Dive printed underneath 12 o'clock, divers 200 meters printed above 6 o'clock, which in my opinion is a bit deceiving. This watch is not ISO certified, and on a lot of occasions you'll see water resistance 200 meters, but they decided to go for divers 200 meters on this one. And I mean, that's the choice they've made. You get the date window at 3 o'clock with a Cyclops, and that Cyclops is doing a fantastic job of magnifying that date. One negative that I can speak of on this watch, given the size of this case and how it sits on the wrist, the heft of this watch, the handset that you get with this watch, this Mercedes handset, could have been a little bit larger. There could have been a bit more heft or size to these hands as well, which is not the case, and that's the only negative that I can speak of when I speak of the quality of the finish and the dial and the way this watch is presented by Eddie's Dive. And there's plenty of lume on this watch as well. There's plenty of lume on the bezel and on those markers and the hands too. So let me kill the lights and I'll give you a peek into the lume as well, and I'll compare this lume to another affordable diver's watch, which is the Invicta Pro Diver. So look at this watch and you look at the lume. It's absolutely fantastic. You get a pip lume on the bezel as well. The BGW9 is doing a fantastic job, and now I'll bring the Invicta next to this, and you can see there's no match, there's no comparison at all. I mean, the lume on this Eddie's Dive is miles ahead when compared with the Invicta Pro Diver, which does cost a bit more because it's an automatic watch, but again, there's no match when we talk about the quality of the lume used by Eddie's Dive on this watch. So really impressed with the lume, and that is where this watch really shine as well. So you get a mineral crystal on this one with the Cyclops. Already spoken about the Cyclops, and you do get an AR coating on this glass as well. I'm not sure if you can see a tinge of that blue coming up in the video right now. Really helps in getting a clear view of this dial. I mean, there's no interruption at all. You can see the dial from extreme angles as well. You can tell the time. So yeah, even though this is a mineral crystal, there is AR coating on it, and I can easily live with this quality of mineral crystal, especially at this price point as well. Now, looking at the bracelet, so I decided to go for the stainless steel bracelet. You can buy this watch with a NATO strap or a rubber strap as well, but the price difference is not there it wasn't there for me to justify not purchasing this watch with a stainless steel bracelet. It was a no-brainer for me. So you do get solid links and solid end links on this bracelet. The outer links are brushed, the middle links are polished. The clasp is not signed, it is a blank clasp, and it is pressed. So I wasn't expecting milled clasp from Eddie's Dive at this price point anyway, but if you go to AliExpress, you can pick up a nicely milled clasp for a few dollars. You do get 3 levels of micro adjustment. Definitely helps in getting a nice fit from this bracelet. Now, there is a bit of a rattle to this bracelet when you really shake it, but it doesn't really move about when the watch is on your wrist. It doesn't pull any hair, and it is really comfortable on the wrist as well. But again, if you don't like this bracelet, you can always swap it out. There's plenty of options out there with this 20mm lug width. You can buy a rubber strap or a NATO strap or another stainless steel bracelet of your liking. So this is a quartz watch. This comes with Miyota's movement, Miyota 2115, with a stated tolerance of plus to minus 20 seconds per month. The battery used in this watch is SR626SW. You can pick them up for a few dollars. You get a battery life of up to 4 years, as advised by Eddie's Dive. So yeah, you definitely can be sure of the accuracy from these quartz movement, and that seconds hand is hitting those markers, all of those markers, really precisely, really nicely as well. So yeah, you can't really go wrong with these quartz movements anyway from Miyota. Screw down crown, you get 200 meters of water resistance. So they were not really lying when they put divers 200 meters. I think the word divers is a bit deceiving. They could have gone with water resistance of 200 meters with the screw down crown. The crown is signed with the Eddie's Dive logo, and you can see the rubber gasket in there as well. Definitely helps in getting the 200 meters of water resistance. So, and you get a really nice purchase from this crown as well. It has a decent size to it, so you can easily use or function with this crown without any problems at all. Now let's quickly look at the case back as well before I give you the wrist shot, and then we'll wrap up the video. So you get a closed case back. It is really nicely put together as well. So it's not a blank looking case back. You can see Eddie's Dive logo there. You can see some information there too. It makes reference to that 200 meters of water resistance on the case back as well. You can see there stainless steel Eddie's Dive. So really nicely done on this case back as well by Eddie's Dive. So overall, really nice watch, really nicely put together for 60 bucks, or depending on your location where you are, including the taxes and import duties and stuff like that. You can't really go wrong. I mean, for $60 that I've paid for this watch, it is a lot of watch, and as I said, it's really comfortable on the wrist. It's really nicely finished. That bezel is absolutely fantastic. The action on that bezel and the finishing on the bezel, on those markers, on the dial as well. So you know, they've done a decent job in putting this watch together. So let me guys give you a quick wrist shot, and then I'll wrap up this video. So I've got a 7-inch wrist, and this watch fits really nicely on my wrist. As I said, this bracelet, even though it does rattle a little bit, it doesn't rattle when the watch is on your wrist. It's really comfortable, doesn't pull any hair, and you know, it wraps around the wrist really nicely as well. The watch sits fairly flat on the wrist, and if you don't like this bracelet, you have plenty of options out there to choose from. You can buy a fitted rubber strap that will go really nicely. A black rubber strap will look really nice on this watch. You can go for a green one as well if you like that color. So guys, thank you very much for watching. This wraps up this video and the review of this watch. I'll see you with my next video shortly. Until then, stay safe and look after one another. Thank you for watching again.